Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Brownish. Well, today we're going to be talking about the movie Swallow. Swallow recently came out on Netflix and it's an adaptation of the book Swallow by Sefiata. Swallow is set in post-colonial Nigeria and ironically, it was set when Buhari was ruling Nigeria. So Swallow the movie is centered around Tolani, who is the main character. Tolani tells the story in the movie by using the flashback technique. So she's basically recounting to her mother the ordeal she faced while living in Lagos. Swallow talks about the life of a Nigerian, or portrays the life of a Nigerian living in Nigeria during that period, how hard life was for them and what they had to do, or the options they were faced with making to make it as a Nigerian living in Nigeria. So basically when I saw that this movie was going to come out on Netflix, I had to go and reread the book because I'd read it in 2019 or 2020, but I had to go and reread it so I can see if they actually replicated to a very good extent what was written in the book, in the movie. And also it was the book of the month in October in my book club, so reading the book wasn't so hard, so it gave me time to read and then appraise the movie. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the casting. I think that they got the casting for Swallow the movie right. I mean, the people that they chose to play certain characters brought those characters to life. I'm going to talk about two actors that I think brought their characters to life and one actor that I do not agree with the casting. Yeah. So the first person that I think brought her character to life is Rose. Now, in the book, Rose is portrayed as a South girl that doesn't take rubbish, doesn't take bullshit. She's going to put you in your place. Now, the actress that played Rose, I haven't seen her before, but she did an amazing job. Her pidgin was top notch. She wasn't going to take rubbish from anybody. I mean, the way she portrayed Rose was, it was good. I liked it. I like that they picked her. I don't know if there were other people, if there were other options, but she was a good choice. She was a good pick. The next person that I think that they got right in casting is Mr. Salako. Now, in the book, Mr. Salako is a civil service top official, top worker that is sleazy and tries to take advantage of the people that are working for him. The person that played Mr. Salako in this movie did a great job. I particularly want to praise his accents because the accents got me howling a number of times. The way he said, he pronounced S as sh, right? So instead of saying assess, he might say ashesh, something like that. Or he said she's lazy or something. So yeah, so the person that played Mr. Salako really brought that character to life. The casting that I do not agree with is the casting for OC. I don't get it. I mean, OC in the book was supposed to have lived in America for 4 years. Please, between me and you, we both know that any Nigerian that has lived in America for 4 years must come back with some kind of accent, right? OC had no accent. I mean, the only thing he did was put at the back of his sentences. I don't like distractions, This is bad, Maybe you should stop coming here, You shouldn't do this, Don't tell me this. Abba, OC, uncle, just, I don't know. Put accent inside. Damn it, man! You shouldn't do that, man! Or, what the fuck is wrong with you? You bitch! She cost me a lot of money, man. I'm so fucking angry. I could shoot her right now. Something like that. You would have understood that he's American, he just come back, so. But other castings include Mama Chidi was played by Chioma Akpota, Mrs. Doro Jaye was played by Eniola Badmus, Franca, the office gossip, was played by Adaku. I don't know her real name, but ever since I watched Jennifer, I've always called her Daku. So please don't crucify me. Godwin was played by Frank Donga, and is there any other person worth mentioning? I'm not really sure. Tolani was played by Niniola. I'm not sure, but I think it's I don't know. But Sha Tolani was played by a fine girl. That's all I know. I can't really remember her name. So yeah, those are major characters. The next thing I want to talk about is the setting. Now, like I mentioned, this movie was set in post-colonial Nigeria, 1984 slash 1985. So, as you know, austerity measures were put in place, and they had this war against discipline where soldiers would flog people. So the first thing I want to mention is that the newspaper stand that they portrayed in the movie was carrying an article about war against discipline. The cars that they used in the movie, if you notice, the plate numbers were different. I really like that. I like that they put thought into doing that. It wasn't like the cars that we have now. And the makeup, one line eyebrow, black line lips, lip liner, black line lips, eyeshadow that reaches you here, and then with clips. The makeup was really reminiscent of that period. And then Osi's room. Osi's room was a typical Niger big boys room in the 80s. Don't ask me how I know what a Niger big boys house is in the 80s. But I think that they nailed that because with his VCRs and everything, they also nailed that part. So for the settings, it was good. And also the setting in Tolani's mother's house. In the book, they had written that her father was a drummer. I cannot remember the particular scene, but somewhere in one of the scenes where she was in her mother's house, the backdrop showed a talking drum. I mean, it showed that her father was a drummer if you had read the book. And things that I really did not agree with. I I did not agree with um, how Samuel's character was portrayed, right? In the book, Samuel was supposed to be fashionably tasteless, but the Samuel in this movie, for some reason, he had a little fashion sense. It wasn't so great, but it wasn't as bad as Samuel in the book, right? And Messi Ibe playing Vio, Rosie's elder sister. And it's not by force to speak Italian. Bellissima, stupido, pronto, mamacita, mamma mia. I don't know that the book wanted to portray her as someone that did not totally understand Italian or someone that did not totally speak Italian. I think what the book wanted to do was to show that she had little command of the language. So she could basically communicate, but not so fluently. But the way they portrayed Violet in the movie showed that she just knew phrases, and then that's how she communicated. So I don't think I agreed with that. Another thing I look forward to. So I look forward to the scene between Tolani and Godwin in front of the church. Now, if you've read the book, you know that Tolani basically insulted Godwin. She told Godwin her mind, told him he was being brainwashed by his pastor, and she expected better from him because he's supposed to be intelligent, right? But in the movie, it was flat. I mean, that scene, that scene wasn't it. The scene was just there. And then Frank Donga, when he wanted to say bitch, he said bitch. I'm like, what? Ah. I mean, the way he said bitch in the book, he's like, bitch! That kind of thing, like, bitch. And he just came and said, bitch. Hello? Excusez-moi. Waiting there happen. Pardon? So I really did not agree with that scene at all. I think it was abysmal when compared to what was written in the book. This movie gave me reflective thoughts. So in the movie, you would see that they had regular power cuts. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring to your notice that it has not changed. 30 years ago, Nigeria had power cuts. 30 years after, we still have power cuts. NEPA has not changed. The only thing they have changed is their name. So we are still in the same dungeon that we were in 30 years ago. And also in the book, Mrs. Dorojaye complains about being underpaid and contemplating going on a strike, which they actually did in the book. They didn't say that, and they didn't put this part in the movie. I'm just saying. I want to mention that it's still the same thing that's happening now. Doctors are still being underpaid, health workers are still being underpaid, and as a result, instead of resorting only to strikes, they're leaving, not even considering anymore, they're leaving the country in their droves. And I think this is something that we should reflect upon, that the issues that were raised in a book that was supposedly set in the 80s are still the issues that we are facing as Nigerians in 2021. It's a real cause for concern. Um, do I think that the movie Swallow was a good reflection of the book Swallow? Yes, I'm going to give it 75%. I like that it centered the story on Tolani. In the book, it was centered on Tolani and told a bit of Tolani's mother's story, right? But in the movie, it was centered on Tolani because if they had tried to tell Tolani's mother's story, it might have confused people, especially people who have not read the book. Do I think you should read the book? Yes, I think you should read the book. Do I think you should see the movie? Yes, I think you should see that movie because the movie is good and it's totally worth your while. I'm going to give it a yes. I know this segment is practically called So You Don't Have to, but me, I'm telling you, you have to see the movie Swallow. Thank you so much for your time. Till another segment, another episode, till I come your way again, I remain brownish. The movies that confused a lot of people that haven't read the book. So I like that it focused on Tolani and Tolani. So I like that they focused on Tolani and Tolani. Welcome to the first episode of So You Don't Have to. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about the movie Swallow. Go there and watch, and watch, and watch, and watch. Go there and watch, and watch, and watch, and watch.